it's Cupcake and I'm coming to you with an update. I'm not even sure how many months out from vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery I am, but I had surgery January 26th of 2017 and today is June 24th, 2018, so like a year and almost 5 months. So yeah, 17 months out from vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery. Anyway, I haven't made a video in a little while. I've just been living life and I just haven't really felt up to making a video. I haven't had a lot to talk about. Also just been going through stuff. Ah, my nose is so red. Anyway, but yeah, I've been thinking this weekend about making a video, so I decided to finally go ahead and do that. My hair's getting a little longer, just rocking the pigtails. Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about things. As far as my weight goes, I haven't weighed myself in like a week. Yeah, something like that, because my scale is, the battery is about dead, and so it's not really working, and I need to get new batteries, but I have to take it apart and see what kind of batteries it needs, because they aren't like normal batteries. So yeah, anyway, but the last time I weighed myself, I was 157 point something, and since then I have eaten like quite a bit of shit, and so I won't be surprised if I'm up from there. I also wouldn't be that surprised if I'm down from there. It's just, you know, my body kind of just does things. I did go like a week without really exercising. This week I just have been doing like a 15-minute walk on my lunch breaks. So I did that 4 days this week, which isn't like a whole lot of exercise. It's just something nice to do to just chill, but it's something. And then I worked out 3 days this week besides that, just doing like watching exercise videos on YouTube. I'm still really enjoying the pop sugar. I like the low impact workouts, the no weight cardio workouts. There's lots of options, and I've really enjoyed those videos, so I did those 3 days, and I also did like some jogging like / walking for 10 minutes yesterday, before I did like 15 minutes of a video. It's not like a crazy amount, but it definitely has made a difference. I feel stronger for doing those workouts. I've been doing them fairly consistently. Like I said, there's been some weeks where like I don't really do any exercise, but the weeks that I do, I've been pretty good about it, like at least 3 times a week, sometimes 4. And I can tell a difference. Like even my husband has been saying, like, you know, he's seen more of an ass on me. And I feel stronger. So it's kind of strange. Like I feel like I'm getting thicker. I'm eating more, and I feel like I'm getting thicker, but like in a good way, not in a, you know, where I'm putting on like a lot of fat way, you know, like where I'm just getting thicker and a little bit more muscular and a little more toned. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm getting more of a body that I want to have, you know, than when like I had first lost my weight. I, you know, was just looking kind of skinny. Not all of me, but like overall I was looking kind of skinny, and now I'm starting to just like my body a little bit more, from working out the way I have been, you know, doing like a lot of squats and core exercises and stuff. and eating more. So that's kind of where I've been at. It's strange because, you know, I like my weight is up, you know, I haven't worked out a crazy amount, but like I said, it has been making a difference. And I definitely feel like my collarbones are, they're more poppy than they have been. So, yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with my body. Like I said, I have been eating more. This last week, I started my first week of my new shift at work, where I am working 4 10s and then I have Fridays off. It was nice. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I'm helping patients now rather than doing insurance, and I've been doing inbound calls, so it's been pretty chill. So we'll see how things go and progress at work. I've definitely been less stressed out, which is really nice. I haven't been dreading work as much, which is really nice. So I hope that things continue to go well in that direction. I'm always very cautiously optimistic, and I am a realist, so I expect bad things to happen. I know that sounds like pessimism, but no, I would call that realism, because bad things do happen, and I'd rather not be super optimistic and not anticipate those bad things happening, because then I feel like I'm not prepared for them. So I feel like realism is in between pessimism and optimism, and that's where I tend to reside. Although, you know, I definitely hope for good things to happen. I just don't expect that good things are going to happen all the time, because that's just not reality. So I don't know. Myself and my husband are very much center people in lots of regards, like politics. We see both sides, or all sides of an argument, and then we make our, I don't know if decisions is the right word. We decide how we feel about something after we've listened to both sides, and we're generally in the center. There are some things that we agree with on this side, and some things we agree with on this side, and yeah, we really don't like extremism in any facet, and like I think I've talked about before, living in Utah, it is a life of extremes. There are very ultra religious people, and there are people that are like couldn't be more far from religious. And we're not religious people, but we also don't necessarily identify with the people that are like super anti religion. And just a lot of people here, they will grow up as part of like the Mormon church, you know, or around it, and they rebel against it so hard, they just go so far in the other direction, that it's also hard to relate with those people. So yeah, we're not religious, and we don't agree with or identify with a lot of the things that, you know, have to do with the Mormon church, but at the same time, like I said, we're not extremists, and so we just don't like extreme views. So anyway, that's kind of just how we live our lives in all facets, you know, like considering all points of view and then making our own determinations on how we feel. And we tend to agree on a lot of things, not everything, you know, but we're also like very reasonable people, and we hear each other out and hear other people out, and we can understand why people feel the way that they do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with them. It's okay to respect other people's opinions, or not. It's okay to support other people even if you don't agree with their choices. You know, and I feel like a lot of that gets lost with just in this country, in this world. I feel like that a lot of that gets lost. You know, if you're not with me, then you're against me, and I really don't like that mentality. So anyway, that was just kind of like something that's been on my mind. I'm just kind of sharing different things that have been on my mind, but yeah, I would say that whole philosophy also applies to my weight loss and to like this journey that I've been on to get healthier. I don't live a life of extremes anymore. You know, I don't eat like really terribly, and I don't eat really well. Sometimes I eat really terribly, sometimes I eat pretty well. Most of the time I eat somewhere in the middle, like, or some of both. I eat things that I enjoy. I let myself have things that I want to have. I try to not do that in excess, but I definitely do things in excess sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I focus on my protein first. I definitely don't eat enough vegetables. I have had to start like taking like fiber gummies. They're sugar-free fiber gummies to help me with like using the bathroom. That I originally bought them because I started taking an iron supplement because I thought maybe my iron was low, because I was feeling kind of like I had felt when it was low in the past. But yeah, I don't know if that's made much of a difference. I did have my lab work drawn recently, and my labs were all basically fine. My mean platelet volume, which I guess is the size of your platelets, was a little high, but my doctor didn't seem to think anything of it, so I'm not gonna worry about it. It was just like, it wasn't like super elevated, it was just a little elevated, and there's lots of reasons why that can happen. So but otherwise, like, she tested my like folic, like my iron or whatever levels, my B12, just like a regular complete blood count, and all that stuff was pretty normal. So anyway, actually it was all normal, within normal ranges, except for the mean platelet volume. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I started taking fiber gummies, and that's been helping, especially because I don't eat enough vegetables. I would like to eat more vegetables, but I'm not very good at cooking them, and I don't have a whole lot of time. I don't have a lot of desire to cook, and my husband doesn't have a lot of time, even though he's a really good cook. And he's just exhausted after work because his job is just really fucking physical. So we don't eat as many veggies, nearly as many veggies as we should and would like to. Also, you know, money is a factor as well. And I know I hear people saying like, oh, you know, like an apple is cheaper than this prepackaged thing, and that might be true, but that doesn't mean that an apple is going to like give you everything that you need, especially if you've had weight loss surgery. You know, it's not going to give you protein, which is something that like you really need after weight loss surgery. And of course, people are, you know, they have different views on what they need, and I definitely feel that people need different things. The way that I eat, the way that I exercise, the way that I live my life is not going to work for everybody. You really have to find what works for you and go with that, because if you were to start eating as many calories or carbs as me, you know, then you will possibly gain weight, or stop losing weight. I mean, I'm not losing weight right now, but yeah, my body is able to handle like what I'm doing, and like I feel good most of the time. So I would say find what works for you and go with that. But I always encourage people to just live your life, you know, because you can get super caught up and think that weight loss surgery is everything and that it controls your life for the rest of your life. I mean, there are definitely changes that you're going to make, that you're going to, you know, should probably maintain for the rest of your life. But still, like, live your life. Because, yeah, you do have to, like, you know, you're going to, like, focus and do the best that you can and follow things for a while, and then you'll probably, like, adapt, and your life is going to change, and you're going to start doing things differently, and you're going to really find your way, because your body is still changing. My body's changing right now. My body is different than it was several months ago, even though even when I was 153 or whatever, and now I'm however much, like around 157, my body has changed. Like, I'm stronger, and I feel better. Like, I feel healthier as far as, like, exercise and stuff goes than I did before. I'm happier with my body where it's at right now than I was at that time. So yeah, like, your body's gonna keep changing, and the things that you do, and, like, things like work schedules, and, you know, all kinds of things, financial situations, all of these things are going to make a difference in what you're doing, probably, and you're just going to have to adjust and continue to adapt and find what works for you, even if that means that you're always, like, changing things up after a certain period of time. You know, just be aware that no, you're not going to probably do exactly what you're doing, especially if you're new out from surgery. But you're probably not going to do exactly the same things that you're doing now that you will be doing later. Because shit happens, life happens, you know, things change, you change, your body changes. And you just have to be able to roll with it. And so, yeah, like, figure out what works for you. Keep figuring out what works for you, you know, when things change. And just do the best you can to, like, live the happiest and healthiest life that you can, you know. And I definitely somebody that believes in balance, but do what works for you. You know, like I said, what I'm doing isn't necessarily going to work for you, but it works for me, and that's what matters. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? I've been thinking a lot about, I was talking to my husband yesterday about wanting to make a video again, and I am not even sure exactly, like, what came up that made me think about, like, my relationship and wanting to share just, like, my thoughts on my relationship with my husband. But I just wanted, like, I don't know. I was just gonna say, and I'm not somebody that, like, I'm not perfect, and I don't have a perfect relationship with my husband. We definitely have our issues, but the important thing is to, like, continue to put forth effort and work through things all the time in your relationship. When things are good, that doesn't mean that you get to just, like, stop trying. And I feel like that's something that, I don't know exactly how you want to relate it to weight loss. It's just something that's been on my mind because it's something that I've been working on. I'm somebody that gets really defensive. I have an issue with getting really defensive. And I have a hard time letting new people in. Which is, if you watch my other videos, like, you'll know that my husband and I are polyfidelists and we're looking for a partner. So not being open to letting new people into our lives is not a good place, or, like, a good mix of things to be. But that doesn't mean that I should continue to be the way that I am, and that we shouldn't go forward looking for what we're looking for, because we have had partners in the past and we were the most happy and the most fulfilled at that time. We are very happy together, but we know that we want and need more than what each other can give, and that's okay. You know, like, this has just been something that, like, has been very on my mind. It's been in a lot of conversations I've had with my husband, things that I've been watching, and ultimately, like, no matter how you feel about it, like, people have not always been monogamous. It's something that not even all cultures are monogamous now. Like, not all animals are monogamous. The majority of animals, I think, are not monogamous. So naturally, humans are not monogamous. Now, that's not to say that people, like, that they can't be, and that you should be, you know what I mean, polyamorous or polyfidelitous or whatever, or have multiple partners. Like, I'm not saying that. That's not for everybody. But no one person can meet another person's needs fully, and that's why we don't just have one person in our lives for the rest of our lives. We have, a lot of people choose to have one partner for their whole lives. Once they get to a certain point, they find somebody that they just really connect with and that they feel the most themselves with, somebody that makes them want to be the best version of themselves, somebody that they want to spend their lives with. But you can't expect to get every one of your needs met from that person. That's why we have other people in our lives, like friends, like family, because other people will need to pitch in to help, fulfill the needs that you have. And obviously you need to also meet your own needs. So we just, knowing that, and knowing, for me, like, I'm also bisexual, and so, or pansexual. Basically, I am attracted to physically, emotionally, sexually, mentally, to men and women. And so my husband fulfills a lot of needs for me, but there are needs that he can't fulfill because I also want that from a woman. And I can meet a lot of his needs, but there are some needs that it's just like he's super into like video games, which I like. I've come a long way, and I really like a lot of video games too, and it's something that we enjoy doing together. But like I haven't been like a super nerdy person, and he has. Like, he is really nerdy, and he's into really nerdy things. And so finding a partner that can share those things with him is really important to the both of us. So it's like I can share them, but somebody that is also really interested individually in those things would like just fulfill more of his needs. And so we both have other needs, that we're looking to meet by having another partner. And then of course, that partner will have needs, and we'll both be helping to fulfill those needs. And they may have other people in their lives, their friends and family, that will meet needs for them. We are looking for like, somebody that is, is exclusive with us. We want to have somebody that we can have a family with, a wife, essentially, a life partner. That is what we're looking for. So something that I've just been dealing with lately is having to open back up, because we have been really hurt in the past. But opening back up and being willing and just open to having another person in our lives, which we don't in the moment, but just letting like new people in is hard and scary for me. And a lot of it is I have control issues. I have major control issues. And when I don't feel like I have control, which it's a facade, because, the only thing that I have control over is me, like, I tend to freak out, and I attack people, and I become really defensive. And those are things that I really want to work through, because like I said, when we've had a partner in the past, we were the most fulfilled. We were the happiest that we've been. It's what feels right, and that's why we're looking for what we're looking for, because it feels the most right. It always feels right to be with my husband, but it also felt even more right. Like, it brought us closer together to have another person in our lives and have a relationship with another person. And so, yeah. So that's kind of just where I've been at, is having to work through a lot of those things, jealousy, just being vulnerable and being willing to be vulnerable and being willing to be open and let people in and be myself and not be afraid. Those are things I've been working through. And it's been rough. I know it's especially been rough on my husband, especially because, like I said, I am a really defensive person. And when you get really defensive, you stop listening. So it's something that we've had to talk through a lot. It's something that we're working through. And I think that that is really important in a relationship, because I think most things in relationships can be overcome. You know, I've come so far from who I used to be, and I still have a long ways to go. But I think that that's the kind of relationship that you really want to be in. One that makes you want to be a better person, a better you, the best you that you can be. That's the kind of relationship that you want to be. Somebody, you know, like my husband loves and supports me more than I've ever felt in my whole life. You know, but he wants me to be the best me that he can, or that I can be, because that's going to be best for me, and it's going to be really good for our relationship. It's going to be really good for me as a mom and all of the relationships in my life, to be open and willing to, just like be able to communicate and just to be the best me that I can be. And I have done the same thing for him. So anyway, that's just, I know that that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to this video, but that's just kind of where I've been at, and that's kind of why I haven't been making videos, is because this is something that I've been working through. So yeah, I don't know if that will be helpful to you, but I'm just getting it out there and talking about it. So those are the things that have been on my mind. I'm going to continue to exercise. Before, I think I said 4 days a week. I mean, I'm definitely walking at work on my lunch break, but I don't know how much exercise you can consider that. You know, it's about a mile walk. It's not like a big deal, but it's something, like I said. And most of all, it's like good for me mentally. I just listen to music most of the time, and I just go for a walk and I chill and I get away from work. But yeah, like actual working out, doing like cardio and stuff. I'm going to continue to try to do 3 days a week. Sometimes that's not going to happen, and I know that, but that's the goal, is 3 days a week. And if I could do more, that would be great. But 3 days is where I want to be at least. And, you know, eating wise, if you watch my food video, I kind of talked about like what I'm doing. I bought some additional yogurts because now I'm working till 6. Normally I would have already eaten dinner by that time, but obviously I haven't. But I need a little bit to get me through that last part of my day. No, I'm not doing anything physical. I'm sitting, but I am somebody that eats little meals throughout the day, and that's how I'm able to get through. If I don't, like, I do have issues with hypoglycemia. I will get dizzy and headachy if I don't eat. So yeah, I need to make sure that I have enough fluids so that I can get through my day, because like I'm not taking my breaks as often since I'm taking inbound calls. And yeah, I'm gonna be eating more yogurt because it's protein, and like they're not the best yogurt in the world for you, but they're okay with me calorie wise, and I like the taste of them, and they have protein. So I'm gonna be doing like 2 yogurts a day to help get me through work. But yeah, watch my food video if you want to see what I'm eating. It's not that different from what I've been eating, but there are a few slight variations, which is kind of like how I normally live my life. And then there will be times, you know what I mean, where like for my birthday was a couple days ago, by the way. I didn't really even talk about that. I'm 33 now, and I didn't really talk about my stats either. So if you haven't watched my other videos, or in case you forgot, I'm 5'4.5". My highest weight was like 296. I lost like 30 pounds on my own, and then I did a 3-month supervised diet and I lost another like 20 pounds. So my weight day of surgery was 234, and then I'm in the 157-ish range right now. So overall, from my highest weight, I've lost about nearly 140 pounds, and then almost 80 pounds. And it just varies because my weight changes, it fluctuates, but almost 80 pounds in surgery. So, and that is going to be different for everybody. I've seen so many variations. I've seen people who haven't lost nearly as much weight as me after surgery. I have seen people who have lost way more weight than me. I'm still considered overweight. I'm at least 10 pounds overweight right now, and I'm okay with that, like according to the doctors, like stats or whatever. And I mean, they're a little off because, like I said, I normally weigh before I eat anything or drink anything, and you know, after I've used the bathroom and all that stuff. And then also I think they have me down as 5'4", but I'm not sure. I'm like 5'4.5", so it's not quite perfect, but I was like between 27 and 28 BMI. So still in the overweight range, but I'm feeling better. I'm feeling pretty good about my body right now and about what I'm doing. There are days when I'm not doing great. Yesterday I ate so much shit, and I also had a Red Bull. Okay, that's the first carbonation I've had since surgery, and I'm not gonna start drinking carbonated stuff like often at all. It wasn't that exciting. Like I've been craving it, and then finally had one, and it just wasn't that exciting. I stayed up super late, which is new for me because a lot of the time I will fall asleep really early, like 8 o'clock some nights, 9 o'clock some nights. It's been a little later since my new shift, and my husband is a night owl, so I've been putting in an effort most of the time, not all the time, to stay up with him later and spend more time with him. So it just kind of depends. I haven't been getting as much sleep because I'm still getting up at 5 every morning to make sure that like my husband can get to work on time because he works at 6:30. And I also don't have as much issues sleeping as he does. He's got insomnia, and so I usually get up and get ready first. But yeah, so I had Red Bull yesterday. It was like an 8-ounce regular Red Bull. My husband poured it into like a water bottle and shook it up, and then I just kind of sipped on it so that some of the carbonation would go away. I felt a little bloated afterwards, but I can't say it's entirely from the Red Bull. In the future, I will probably just get like the 5-hour energy drinks if I want something like with caffeine to kind of make me stay awake, because I'm not a coffee person. I don't like coffee. And tea just doesn't have that same amount of caffeine in it generally. Like I'll drink green tea at work, you know, like once a day at work, but once or twice a day anyway. It just depends. But I'm not drinking a whole lot of caffeine, but I might do like a half of like a 5-hour energy drink next time I want to stay up later and see how that does, because it's not carbonated and it doesn't have all those calories in it. But that's kind of just something I wanted to do for my birthday, was to drink a Red Bull. So I did that, and also like we got 4 slices of cheesecake, 2 each. I got the carrot cake cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory, and also the key lime. And I ate way too much of the key lime. It definitely gave me some dumping syndrome, but it wasn't the worst I've had for sure. And then I ate the rest of the carrot cake cheesecake later, not gonna lie. So I have like not even half a piece of key lime cheesecake left, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then I had stuffed crust pizza for my birthday because that's what I wanted. That's what sounded good. So I had like 2 pieces for dinner, and then I had like, you know, another like 3 pieces the next day or something like that, just because we had quite a bit of leftovers and I'm not gonna let it go to waste. So yeah, but it was just nice. Like we went up to the outlet malls in Park City and found my husband some shoes. We actually, for his birthday, I think we went shopping for me too. So he was just talking about like how it's kind of funny. He was getting something on my birthday, and like I got something on his birthday. But for me, it's just like, it's something that he needed, and it was spending time together, and like it always feels good to see somebody that you care about, that you love, be happy, you know what I mean? So I was cool with that, and I was really happy. Found some shoes at the outlet mall. I didn't really find anything I was into. And then, yeah, we had pizza and cheesecake, and we watched Luke Cage. We've watched a lot of Luke Cage this weekend. We still have 4 episodes left. That's a Marvel series on Netflix, by the way. It's really good. And then we've also been watching The Staircase on Netflix, which is kind of like the making of a murder. I don't remember exactly. Good series. And so was The Making of a Murder. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's just been a nice chill weekend, and it's crazy because now I have 3-day weekends. Like, I have really long work days. I mean, it's not that bad. It's like 2 hours extra, and it actually goes by pretty fast. But now I have 3 days off, so it's been nice. So the weekend feels like a lot better, you know. It feels more like a weekend because 2 days just seems to go by really fast. But yeah, anyway, that's what's been going on with me. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'm sorry about the really long video, but I haven't made a video in a bit, so hopefully you guys don't mind. I'll talk to you later.